girls, welcome back to our channel. I hope you guys are fabulous today. Welcome to all my new subscribers if you are new, and welcome back Glam Doll fam. So today normally we do what I like to call Flashback Friday. Actually, I just started Flashback Friday, but we're already taking a detour because I have ADD and that's what I do. So as you can tell, I am barefaced right now. My face is all naked, and I'm gonna do, instead today, I'm taking a little detour from Flashback Friday and doing Foundation Friday. Yes! And we are doing Foundation Friday because I got a new foundation I wanted to try out for you guys, which is the Dior Forever Undercover 24-hour full coverage foundation. Now, this foundation I have actually tried out for a couple of days beforehand because I wanted to give you guys a real review, okay? So normally I've done in the past like first impression type, you know, wear it all day for you guys. But then over time, I've either realized, one, I either hated a foundation that I told you guys I loved initially, or one that I didn't care for too much I ended up liking later. So I figure wear it a couple of days, give it a real chance, and then come and test it for you guys, show you how it wears for the day, and then give my real honest review after I've worn it for a little bit and got to know it a little bit better. Before I get started on this, I used to be obsessed with the Dior Star Skin. It's the original like full coverage matte foundation. So I was like, what in the world is the difference between these two, besides this one being like, you know, 24 hours. I don't know, I felt like they were very similar as far as like the claims on it. As you can tell though, they are very, very different. One is very luxurious and the other one is a plastic bottle. I do prefer this packaging, and at first I really didn't like that this came in a little squeezy bottle, but to be honest, I actually like it a little bit more now, only because I feel like I'm going to get the most out of my product from this one versus this one. Like, this is going to be able to, like, get every last drop, whereas, you know, the pump only reaches so far, and then you'll have to go in and get a brush and, you know, get out everything that's on the side. Another distinct difference between these two is this one, the new one, comes with 1.3 fluid ounces, and this one comes with the standard 1 fluid ounce, but they both cost exactly the same. They're both full coverage, matte, lightweight foundations, and once we test this out, I will tell you the wear differences at the very end, but there are some distinct wear differences between the two. So, as a lover of this one I even love more than my Lancome Teint Idole, and that says a lot. Really, really love this. This one had some pretty big shoes to fill. We're going to go ahead and jump in and get started with applying it. I've already put my foundation on, but I am still going to put a primer on because my face is very, very dry right now. So before I do that, I need a headband. Give me one moment. So I always like my hair pulled back. I don't know how some of these gals do it with just like clipping them back or doing it with their hair all on their forehead. I can't stand it. First, I'm going to go in with my primer, and for primer I'm going to use the Estee Lauder Illuminating Perfecting Primer, only because it's one of my favorite. So I like this primer because it's very thick. It's almost kind of lotiony. It's really thick, and it like really makes my skin feel soft, but it has a nice, beautiful glow to it. And I use it all over my face because my face is just dull and dry right now. So I'm just kind of rubbing that in. You are more supposed to pat it in, which is what I'm doing. Because it's so thick, I kind of feel like this one also kind of smooths my skin out, which is why I really like it. Because my skin's so dry, I'm also going to spray with the Urban Decay Rebound Priming Spray. I really, really like this spray a lot. It does leave a nice little bit of tackiness for your foundation to adhere, but it also, I really feel like it does moisturize my skin a lot more. So I'm going to let this dry and then I will be right back. So now we're going to go in with the Dior Forever Full Coverage or Undercover 24-hour Full Coverage Foundation. God, that's a mouthful. So on one half of my face, I am going to use my Morphe Y7 brush. And on the other half, I'm going to use my Booty Blender. Kind of like the Lancome Teint Idole, this kind of has an after smell of like alcohol. And also, I did get this one shade lighter than my Dior Star Skin. And I actually think I like this color better that I got. So it kind of worked out because I'm still pretty pale right now. I'm going to go in, like I said, with my Morphe Y7 first. And we'll blend this out. And honestly, I've only used this foundation with a beauty blender, so we'll see how this works out. This is actually my first time with this. This foundation does dry pretty quick, so you do kind of have to move a little quickly. Also, this foundation, I will say, is very, very lightweight. And it blends out really, really great and beautiful, and it's full coverage like right off the bat. Like you can go in with a second layer, but you don't need to. And like I said, that's coming from somebody who is a full coverage queen. So, with a brush, I'm not really liking how it's kind of setting on my nose. Let me just stipple that in there a little bit. So already with just one layer, it is so full coverage, as you can see, like very full coverage. Very, very full coverage. I'm used to putting this on with my beauty blender, and it didn't help that I was using a brand new beauty blender when I first tried this foundation. And if you use a brand new beauty blender, you know it really sops up a lot of your foundation, a lot of your products, so you end up using, I feel like you use more. So the dots that I had on my face were how many I needed with that brand new beauty blender. I definitely didn't need that much with this brush. But it blended out very beautifully. Only around like my more dry spots, I will say, with a brush, it didn't kind of blend out very well there. And on my nose, I don't like how it really blended out on the tip of my nose. But everywhere else looks beautiful. So now let's go ahead and go in with the beauty blender. I will say too that this side's already pretty much dried down. It feels amazing, but like I said, you kind of got to work pretty quickly with this foundation. So on the forehead already, I'm seeing a big difference, at least in person. I don't know if you guys can really tell a difference at home, but the side with my brush definitely is way more full coverage than this side. I mean, this side is full coverage also, but definitely not as full coverage as this side. Like, I feel like on this side, it's like a complete mask. Whereas this side, I can see some of my little imperfections peeking through. Okay, so yeah. In person, 100%, this side is way more full coverage. So I am going to go in and just the spots that are peeking through where I need a little bit more coverage, I'm going to add a couple more dots of foundation and build up a little more coverage right there. And just so we have a more seamless face, because I do have to go to work today, I am going to blend out on this side with my beauty blender and kind of even everything out. This foundation is probably, so far, like with the way it blends out and the way it feels on my face, probably my new favorite. I'm not even kidding. It just feels so lightweight, even though it's so full coverage, it feels so lightweight. And it does oxidize a little bit, you guys, slightly. It's not very bad, but it does oxidize to maybe a shade or two darker when it dries. So just keep that in mind when you purchase. Also, in Dior, I will say their yellow tones run really, really yellow. I'm somebody who normally likes a really yellow undertone, but even I went neutral because they run so yellow. So this is how it blended out, you guys. I think it looks gorgeous. It's full coverage, but I still have this little piece of poop pimple still peeking through right there. Again, that was the beauty blender side. Maybe I should have did this side, the brush side, add a little bit more coverage to it, but that's okay. I can go ahead and cover that with a bit of concealer and we won't even notice it's there. It's pretty much dried down completely, and it dries to almost a powder finish to where, like, this is probably one of the few foundations I could go without powder and feel confident the rest of the day that it'll wear just fine. I am going to add a little bit of powder just to the places that I crease where I put my foundation or where I put my concealer, and then I am going to contour a little bit with powder contour and bronzer and all that good stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and put my concealer on right now. Okay, so for my concealer, I am going to go in with my NARS in the color Light Chantilly, the lightest color in the whole wide world. And we're just going to go ahead. This one is great to especially brighten up my under eyes, and a tiny bit goes a very, very long way with this concealer. So you really don't need too much like I would with some other concealers. And my eyebrows are toast, so I'm gonna have to do them again, so I don't even know why I'm trying to be careful around them. I don't know how some of you girls like do your eyebrows first, because I end up getting like makeup all over them while I'm doing the rest of my face. Like, it's crazy. So now I'm just gonna go in and blend it with my booty blender. God, this just brightens up so much, and it's so full coverage. This freaking concealer can brighten up and hide the darkest of souls. It is so good. By far, like, one of my all-time favorite concealers ever. So after I blend out my concealer, I go back in with the beauty blender that I use for my foundation and just go back in and blend everything together so that there's no like harsh lines or anything. My skin looks like a mask, you guys. Like, the lighting's not so good here. Let me see. Let me turn down these lights real quick. There we go. Yeah, it looks so freaking flawless in person, except for that little spot right there. You know what? Where's my little concealer? Put put a little bit of concealer on it right there. I think I just highlighted it. There we go. It's a little more out of the picture. But I'm telling you guys, this combo with the NARS and the Dior, like in person, just looks so freaking flawless. I almost don't even want to ruin it with powder. Okay, so my favorite highlighter in the world right now is the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer Palette. It's the one right here that I'm almost hitting pan on. It is the Galactic one. But luckily I bought 4 of these. 4 of these palettes. $11.88, you guys. That's how much these palettes are. They're like as cheap pretty much as an e.l.f. palette. I'm obsessed with this freaking highlighter. I got stopped in the mall so many times by girls just telling me either my highlighter looked freaking amazing or that like they just wanted to know which one it was. And yeah, because this highlighter is like to die for. Probably by far the best drugstore highlighter I have ever tried in my life. Probably one of the best highlighters I've ever tried in my life. Especially like if you have pores like I do, which are the size of swimming pools, and a lot of texture and wrinkles on your face. This gives you that wet look, as you can see, and that glow, and it doesn't like emphasize any texture or pore. I'm gonna go ahead and set it with my Patrick powder because again, this foundation only deserves the best. I'm just kidding. I mean, it does, but really the only reason why I'm using my Patrick powder is because this foundation really doesn't need a lot of setting, and this powder doesn't really cake up around my eyes, so that's why I'm using it. I'm using my Morphe contouring sponge, and I'm just going to go and set my under eyes. Oh my god, I love this powder. I never want to run out of it. If somebody at MAC ever sees this video, please bring this powder back. Please. I'm also just setting where, adding a little bit of powder where I normally tend to crease or get oily. I'm gonna go ahead and actually finish the rest of my makeup, and I will pop back in before I, take off for the day and show you the final look, and then we will be doing check-ins all day, showing you how this wears. Cool guys, I just broke my tripod, so it kind of worked out though, thank God, because I just finished my makeup. And this is today's look, and I used the Natasha Denona Tropic palette, and I will be doing some looks with this palette for you guys very soon. I'm obsessed. I've gotten to play with it a lot and do a few looks in the last couple of days. I haven't posted any of them because I'm kind of saving them for tutorials, but before I do my daily test, I'm going to go ahead and just finish off with my Morphe Continuous Setting Spray. And that's just going to lock in place what little bits of powder that are on my face and give me a nice glow. I do treat all my foundations all equally, and I just do to them what, when I'm testing them, what I do on an everyday basis. So here is the look. I hope you guys like it, and let's go throughout the day and see how my Dior Undercover foundation works out. Alright, see you guys in a bit. Hey glam dolls, the lighting kind of sucks right now, but I'm doing my first check-in. It is literally 9:01 right now, and I'm running late to work as always. It's kind of hard when you are filming and trying to get ready for work at the same time. Like, I know I'm gonna run late because filming takes so much longer than my actual getting ready does, because I'm talking so damn much. But anyway, first check-in, face is looking flawless, and plus I wanted to show you guys how it looks in the daylight. Absolutely flawless. Just wanted to let you know, I think really this is by far one of my favorite foundations. I think this is, you know, it's coming to claim the #1 spot, and it's going to be very, 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 very hot today. So we're going to see if this pulls through and can stand the Fresno, California, Central California summertime heat. Because if it can withstand that, it can withstand anything. It gets up into like 110 here. Granted, ours is a dry heat. It's not humid like the South or anything, but it gets extremely hot here, and you will your face will melt off. It's going to be very hot today. It's going to be in the 90s. So we're going to see if this will withstand that and still look as flawless as it does now, later at the end of the day. Also, I want to just add once again, it's a full face, like a definite mask of foundation, but I literally feel like I'm wearing nothing. Like, it is so lightweight. I don't think I've ever had a foundation that was full coverage like this feel so lightweight. It's amazing, absolutely amazing, and I think that's why I love it so much, because it just, I mean, you feel like you're barely wearing anything. So I'm gonna go ahead and check in with you guys a little bit later on my break or lunch, and we will see how it holds up, my dears. So see you guys very, very soon. Hey, dolls. So I am checking in with you guys again, and the lighting sucks, so I'm gonna get into better lighting. And aside from my eyes watering like usual, because today is a heavy allergy day in the Central Valley in California, my foundation is holding up wonderfully, and I am already like hot and sweating. One thing I want to say is normally like 5 minutes after wearing a foundation, my smile lines have already normally creased with any other foundation, and this one, it hasn't. It looks so amazing. So I'm telling you, best foundation so far. Excuse me, I have the hiccups. But yeah, it's amazing. So I'm going to go ahead and check in with you guys in a little bit. I'm still matte as can be, but I don't look cakey. So I will check in with you guys, let's see here, about 3 p.m. Right now it's about 12:30 p.m. So I'll check in with you guys in a couple of hours. All right, bye guys. Hey, Glam Dolls. Here I am for my 6 p.m. check-in. I didn't get to do my late afternoon check-in, but it is still looking amazing. Everything is matte as can be. I have never, ever, ever had a foundation last this long or look perfect this long. We are like almost on hour 10, I want to say, and it ended up looking really, really good. Like, it's seriously like, you know, better than my Teint Idole. Like, even Teint Idole starts breaking up around the 10th hour. Well, this one ended up like looking so good. I can't believe it. So I'm really, really happy with this. I really think that this is probably one of the best foundations I've ever tried in my whole life. So, yeah, I'll go ahead and check in with you guys later this evening, more around the 12th hour mark, and we'll see where we're at. Like I said, I'm not going to wear it 24 hours, but I will go ahead and wear it at least maybe 15 and see how we do. All right, guys, I will see you guys in just a bit. All right, thanks. Okay, Glam Doll, so it is about 8 p.m. right now, and this is going to be my final check-in, only because I am tired and I fell asleep on the couch right now. So I don't think I can make it anymore. I gotta go wash my face. So I think when I was sleeping, I may have rubbed my nose because my nose looks like it's coming apart a little bit, but it wasn't coming apart before I fell asleep. Other than that, everything looks freaking perfect, and it stayed flawless all freaking day long for all 13 hours, you guys. This stuff is amazing. Actually, close to 14 hours now. So, if you are wondering, yes, this is Desi Glam Life approved. This foundation is probably the best foundation I have ever used, and it's now my new number one. I'm obsessed with it. So I think it is definitely worth the $52 plus tax, and it is my new ride or die. I've already decided. So that is all I have for you guys, and I am signing off with 2 thumbs up on the Dior Undercover 24-hour full coverage foundation. All right, you guys, I love you all. Don't forget, we have just one more week left to get entered in the giveaway to win the Jaclyn Hill palette. So make sure you click on the link below and make sure you're subscribed and following me on Instagram. And if you want extra bonus entries, go watch the video that's in the link, and you guys will be good to go and get all entered. So I love you guys, and I will see you guys in a couple of days. Bye.